So a few months ago, I made a video about transforming the storage of my survival world. And in that video, I talked about making a tour because most people watching have no idea what anything is in my world. And that's exactly what we're doing today. I'll explain why this video is like 3 months late at the end, but for now, let's just get into the tour. So to start off the tour, we have this very kind of ugly looking starter house. I only used this thing for a few days before I moved down to my main base, and this ladder actually used to lead down into here, but after a month or two of having that ladder, I kind of got sick of it, so I built this thing instead, which is a lot more efficient, and it basically uses bubble streams to pull me down and push me up like this. But after a while using this thing, I kind of got sick of this thing too, so then I built this entrance, which is the one that I still use today. And this entrance doesn't really look the best. I've like never updated it, but it works. So going into the main base, there's this thing right here, which is kind of like my trash area, and at least to some chests that I like literally never use. There's not even a way to get in there. Like if I use free cam, the room is right here and there's literally no entrance. And because it's starting to get night, I also want to show this thing. So I have a daylight sensor here that basically triggers this thing whenever it becomes night, even though I literally never see monsters here because this area is pretty well lit up. This is basically just a way to prevent monsters from getting in here, because obviously I can jump over this thing but they can't. I don't know, I thought it was just a cool contraption that I made. But if we come back down into the base, this is a map of most of my world. I'm not really going to explain anything on here because I'm going to actually go and show it. Then over here we have my ender chest and a grindstone, and then we have some anvils right here. Then I just have a stone cutter and a smithing table up here because I didn't really know where else to put them. And then I also have a secret room right here, which is kind of like my bedroom, and this just leads to some wiring, nothing too interesting. And then this door leads down to my slime farm. So if we fall down here, then we have my slime farm collection area, and then this is the actual slime farm itself. Moving on over here, we just have my old furnace room. I like never use this anymore, and that's literally all this room is. I also have this lever here for flipping up the bookshelves for when I want to do an enchantment. Then on the other side, we have my nether portal, which I built like a little activation system for. And when I was designing this, I couldn't get it to only activate the water. So this is kind of what happens when you activate the water. And the wiring down here is just really bad. Like, I don't even know what this is. Over here, if you watched the last video, you'll already know what this is. This is my old storage room, and I kept the signs on it because, I don't know, it looks kind of weird in here without them. And some of these chests actually are still used. Like this is for my sugarcane farm that's up here. And then I also have a composter under here, which leads to this bone meal chest. So this is still kind of used. And then this bamboo chest connects up to my bamboo farm, which is not even finished and honestly pretty slow. So whenever I have a junk item, I usually just like to throw it in here and just let it despawn. But a few days ago, I thought, why not just have a like hopper minecart underneath the blocks like this, and then just have it collect into this chest. But I realized that because the brewing stands are here, they can't actually pick up the items. So I was kind of just too lazy to get rid of it. So that's why I still have that. And if you watched the last video, you'll definitely know what this is. This is my new storage room, and I have made a few changes to it, like this ender chest here and like these pots, but for the most part it's pretty similar. I think I did change out the categories of items. I also put stairs here, it just looks a little better. And yeah, I still haven't actually made anything in these doorways. And these like iron bar things are actually crafting tables. I just did this so I could have some lighting. Then over here I just have some villagers here, which I literally never use. I was planning to move more into here like this, but I never did. I think this was supposed to be like so I could collect all the XP. And this is a path to my village, which I honestly never really use because I just usually fly to it. And then this thing is a entrance to my bee area, which I occasionally use. Then over here we just have a room, I guess. It doesn't really have a purpose. I'm displaying all my pottery shards on here, and then just a bunch of empty pots on this side. Some cakes I got from trial chambers I just put there. This is the new painting. This hopper thing I think is for the bamboo farm. And then in here we have my armor room, which I haven't even really finished. The only thing I've finished is the blast gear for blast protection. Ocean gear, I only have a turtle helmet with that on it, and then the rest of them I don't even have one. And this is just a weird room I made with the new tough blocks. Literally serves no purpose. Over here, we just have some random wheat things that I made. And then we have 2 trapdoors here. This one leads nowhere, but this one actually does lead to a underground section that I made. So I used to have this really old survival world that I played on a lot, and I kind of tried to recreate the base from it in this world. I didn't really get very far, and you can probably tell that this base is inspired by Ethos Lab. It did have a bunch of unfinished ceilings and stuff like that, and then there was like this down area. Yeah, I literally started this and that's it. Maybe I'll finish that someday, I don't really know. Then if we come out here, I just have this like glass thing. I think I was gonna make it go all the way to here and then continue my base, but I ran out of glass, so I just decided to put some fences here, and then later I put these docks here. Just a random build. I never really use these things. These mangrove trees are actually from a video that I made like 2 years ago almost, exploring like the 1.19 mangrove swamp stuff, which is when I was gonna also try to start making videos about this world, but only made like 2 videos. But yeah, we'll get to that stuff later. Over here, I just have a random staircase that leads up to here. I was gonna try to expand my base over here, and I might still do that. Like, I could always add something in this mountain, but under here we have like a fish tank with a ton of fish in it. I spent a really long time getting a bunch of tropical fish and putting them in here. And then we have this building, which I think I was gonna make like some sort of really fast like dolphin soul sand speed highway thingy. I don't really know what it was gonna be, but I mean, elytras are probably just better and more convenient, so this is just kind of a random building that I have here. So that's pretty much it for my base. So now we can come back out here. So next to my starter house, we have this just random farm. I started putting this stuff in it because I actually got a few sniffers. Over here we have a sugarcane farm, which was my main sugarcane farm, but I do have a way better one that we'll get to later. And then I already showed it, but behind that is my very bad bamboo farm. And then we also have this random chest thing that I made, which has like a bunch of eggs in it and just random other things. And then next to that, we have my old chicken farm, which used to have like hundreds of chickens in here, but I killed them all because it was getting way too loud and laggy. And if we go back down to the base for a second, I have a chest that's full of eggs, but it's not just that chest that's full of eggs, because if we go back to this chicken farm, I have a hopper leading all the way to that chest, and they're literally all filled up. This is the last hopper. You can see with FreeCam how far this hopper goes. It goes down here, over here, all the way over here. So yeah, I had a lot of eggs and I didn't really need to use this thing anymore. This is a bigger map of the one that's in my base that I didn't even finish. And this one's actually really outdated, but I'm not really sure if I want to update it, honestly. Then right here, we have a random statue that I built, like probably not even a month after I started the world. I think I was gonna make him holding like a diamond or something. Then in here, we have the sniffers. So I got these pretty recently, probably like a few weeks ago, and I asked my friend what I should name the original one that I had, and he said Jeffrey, so that's the original one. Over here we also have my camel, which took a lot of time to get here, because if I open my map mod, I think I got him from this desert village, and I literally had to travel from here all the way to where I am here on the camel. This thing right here was gonna lead to like a city above the ocean that I just never finished. This thing is a cow farm that I never really use because I have a hoglin farm, so there's not really need for their leather or the meat. If we go down here, this is like an old mine slash bulk storage thing that I made. Ow. So we have a bunch of ender pearl storage. It literally goes to like here. Then we also just have like stone storage, I guess, and that's literally it. These are just, oh wait, these have seeds in them, actually. Not really much to see down here besides that. I was gonna make this my main mine, but didn't ever finish it. If we come back over here, I kind of forgot to talk about this, but this is my mine. So it's basically just a 5x5 tunnel all the way down to bedrock. And before we go to the bottom, I just want to make a quick detour. If we go over here in this massive cave, I think it's over here. Yeah, in here, I have this cave spider farm that I used to use a lot during the early game. Why aren't they spawning? Oh, there we go. So yeah, it's pretty simple. They just come up here. These trapdoors and slabs are just so they don't get out because they're really small compared to normal spiders. So if we go back into the mine and go all the way to the bottom, this is kind of fairly recently. I put like this glass here and these lights and stuff like that. And I kind of expanded this room. It used to just be 2 blocks tall and like really tiny. And I have these tunnels that kind of lead in different directions. That's my beacon right there. I was gonna kind of have like some sort of underground highway tunnel system, but I kind of realized that that's a little bit pointless. And even if I was gonna do that, I should probably do it in the nether. I mean, these were also kind of like my mines too, but I pretty much don't use this anymore because I now have my tunnel bore up here. So I actually built this for a video that I was gonna make like in October of last year, where I was going to try to get 10,000 diamonds, but I kind of realized that was a little bit too big of a project, but I got a tunnel bore out of it, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, pretty simple. You just flick this and it just blows up. And then you just go along looking for anything that you might want. It also gets you a lot of deep slate too, which is pretty nice. Oh, look, there's diamonds. And I actually did build this above lava level, and the reason I did that is because if we go back here, it actually breaks into this massive cave here, but you can kind of see why I built it right here, because it basically just goes right above the lava, and all I have to do is just turn it into obsidian. If you go back over here near the cows and this thing, we have my old crop farm. Pretty simple. It's just, I used to use this a lot to get bread and stuff like that, and carrots. Then next to this, we have my super smelter. Well, you can hardly call it a super smelter, but just my auto smelter. I really need to build like a big one of these things, but I use this a lot when I'm smelting like a bunch of glass or something like that. And then this thing is just so I can AFK at it, just a little room with a crafting table in it. Then over here, I actually used to have a bigger bouncy castle from, obviously I got this from my slime farm. It used to go to like here. Oh, hello. But I got rid of it, but then I kind of missed it. So then I built a smaller one. Over here, we just have a chest and stuff like that. And then this thing is a very interesting looking house that I made. I was gonna try to actually move in here from my main base, but well, first of all, it's way smaller compared to my base. And second of all, it just looks so bad. Like, I think I was trying to use diorite just to make it look like interesting, but it just looks bad. I would say like a month or 2 ago, I was watching one of my like really old world tours that I made like 2 years ago. And I showed this in the world tour, which is like a really old mob farm that I made. And I completely forgot about this until I watched that tour. And yeah, it's basically just a very slow mob farm. If I go into free cam, basically just looks like this. So next to the very bad failed house, we have this pumpkin and melon farm. This used to just be a pumpkin farm, and I had like the melon section almost done, but a little bit ago, probably like a week or 2 ago, I finished this thing, and it gets me so much melons and pumpkins. Like, this thing is probably full. Oh, well, it's almost full. Over here, we just have some random chests with, I don't know, stuff in them. I think those were like my farm building material chests. And then next to that, we have my cobblestone generator, which I literally never use. There's also a hopper under the lava, so it'll pick up most of the items that fall into it. Occasionally, like, they'll still burn. Yeah, like that one. And then I just have this little collection system down here. Over here, we have like a farming area, which I really never go to. We have some chickens in here, some cows, and some pigs with a cow and some turtles for some reason. I don't even know how the turtles got out of this thing. But yeah, this thing actually used to be like half as big, and I expanded it like a few weeks ago. I killed like most of them because there was so many in here. And let's see if there's any scoot. Oh, there's actually some. Next to this thing, we also have a cocoa bean farm, which I never really use anymore. It's just a manual one. This thing I built a few days ago, which is a really tall nether portal, because why not? That's pretty much it for over here. There's not really too much. This area right here, I used to like grow a lot of 2x2 spruce trees on. That's why there's all this podzol everywhere. This 2024 sign, I literally just made this like on January 1st of this year. I don't really know why I made that, but I did, so there it is. So that's pretty much it for all the stuff in this area, and now we can head over here. So my beacons are down here. I only have 4 of them right now. I'm planning to get 6 so I can get all the effects. If we come over here, I used to just have like a makeshift path, but I actually made a bridge here, and it does have a little spot for boats to go through too. And I actually have a thing set up right now where this bamboo farm actually leads to a chest over at my cactus farm, and I had to make a hopper going from there all the way over there. So I actually had to make it go through this bridge, so it goes like under this bridge. Also, if you're wondering why there's composters above most of the hoppers, it's to reduce lag. Over here, I have a wheat farm, which I kind of said in other world tours, like I'm planning to make this thing massive. Oh, okay. Which, really? jump boost kind of sucks over here. I did expand it, like it goes kind of over here now. I might eventually make it go up this mountain. I don't really know. Also, speaking of this mountain, I just wanted to mention this. A few days ago, I put like a 20 by 20 spruce tree thing here, and I mined it all out with TNT, and I know I probably should just build a tree farm, but it was honestly kind of fun. If we come down here, I have like this stone bridge path thing that I just kind of ended here, but this leads to the stuff over here. So I have my cactus farm here. This used to be like full of deep slate and you couldn't see it, and I was actually planning on getting rid of this thing, so I got rid of most of the deep slate, but I kind of like it just like this. I might put like green glass around this thing, and then down here we have the collection area. So this chest, and well, basically all these chests are collecting it, and I've set up a water thing. It's kind of a weird system, but all the cactus goes into here, and then this chest has a hopper under it with a furnace, and this is where that bamboo hopper thing ends up, into this furnace, and this is like my XP furnace that I just want to eventually mine and see how much XP I get from it. If we keep going along this path here, we have my sugarcane farm, which I actually just finished like a few days ago. It actually used to have a different style of farm, but you can see I changed it all out. I streamed this like 5 months ago building this thing, and I also made this cool floor design with some glowstone. You can kind of see it in between the glass, which I don't really like. And then we have the collection system. So this thing is really fast. I think just with one layer overnight, I got like 2 double chests full, but now we have, well, actually 6 layers, I think. The only thing left to do on this building is to put a roof, and I want to really make this area like an industrial city type of thing. I definitely want to make one for bamboo, and then probably have that lead to the XP furnace over there. Also over here, I was going to make like some buildings by the river. I don't know, I probably built these like a year and a half ago or something like that. So that's pretty much it for this section. Now we can go to the last section. Well, actually, first of all, I have this thing called Bamboo Island right here. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's basically an island that I put bamboo on every block, and I kind of have this mob farm in the middle, but I still try to place bamboo on every block that's not using the mob farm. Why is this so efficient all of a sudden? And also, why is it so loud? But you can see every block that I could, I did place bamboo. So yeah, I completed this thing probably like a month ago, I would say. If we go up here, like I already mentioned earlier, this is my creeper farm, and this thing is honestly really bad. I built this thing when I started the world. So if we come back over here, that's like my sugarcane farm, my base, and stuff like that, and the bridge. But if we go past the bridge, then we can go to my village. So yeah, this is my village. The village itself is honestly like kind of weird. There's a bunch of cows in here, I guess. This is the exit to that path that I mentioned earlier, like that soul sand path in my base. But the main purpose of the village is this thing right here, which is the villager trading hall, and I tried to label like what they trade, or at least the good things that they trade. And then up here we have my old iron farm. This thing, I mean, it got me a lot of iron, but it was really slow. Because this thing only works during the day, I had this little AFK bed spot thing where you just sit in here and like hold down right click, and then once you sleep, then you just get pushed back down to this thing, and if you're holding right click, then you'll just go like this. We also just have this weird like sheep farm. Oh yeah, actually I made this thing so I could get all the beds for this place, which is actually kind of empty now. I moved most of the villagers out of here because I transported them over here to my iron farm. So this is my new iron farm. It's actually not working at full efficiency right now. I only have this module and half of this module working, but if we go down here, I made this thing probably like 3 days ago. It was very recently. So this is like the collection area. I made like a sorting system for it. So this is all the iron chests. I don't think these will ever fill up completely. I also have a bone meal chest for all the poppies that I get from the iron golems, and then just other stuff. I just put this in here actually. And then we have an AFK room, and then we also have all the villagers, which have a iron trade. So I can just take the iron from here and trade it with them. So now that the overworld is done, we can go to the nether, which there's really only one thing in the nether. So yeah, this is my nether hub. It's pretty boring. Right here we have a hoglin farm. That's what it's called. So this one's really fast, and I actually probably need to AFK here because I'm like completely out of food. This is like my last stack. Where does this lead? I feel like this leads in a cave if I remember right. Oh, anyway, yeah, that's a hoglin farm. Nothing really too interesting. There's one more thing in the end, but It's not really too interesting. It should be like right here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I marked it off with a ton of torches. So yeah, if we go into the end, the only build that I have to show is my Enderman farm right here. So I've set up this like dropper thing that just gets rid of the ender pearls like this, which is kind of loud. And yeah, we just have the Enderman here. They get mad at this Endermite. Yeah, it's just a pretty standard Enderman farm. I also have like this little enchantment table set up here, and then I have a on-off switch for the dropper. One more thing I guess I could show is this thing right here. This is like that old iron farm design, and I was gonna make like a bunch of them and just like have a massive iron farm that I thought would be like so efficient. So that was gonna be the end of the tour, but I forgot to mention a couple things. The first thing is this slime cube that I made, and I was basically just going to fill this completely with slime. I didn't really get that far in it though. I also forgot to mention my glow squid farm. So this is kind of tucked away near like where that statue and the sniffers are. I mainly built this so I could get the glow ink for the chests in my storage room. So yeah, it's not very efficient at all, and it basically just looks like this. It has like some water columns, and they just fall and die in the magma blocks, and then a minecart picks up their drops. It only really works well if you're up here. I think this is the AFK spot for the glow squid farm. Oh yeah, this is the AFK spot for that, and this is the AFK spot for my slime farm. Why do I keep falling? Yeah, this is the AFK spot for my slime farm. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to do is give a tour of my ender chest. So the first few ones that I have are rockets, then we have food, which is completely empty, and the goodies one. We also have pearls, a bunch of iron, and then this is like my tools and gear. So this netherite armor and tools are like my backup gear. I also have 2 netherite hoes, one with silk touch and one with fortune. Then we just have like some shears, some flint and steel, an extra bow because this one's about to break. We also have paper and gunpowder, so then if I ever run out of rockets, I can still make more. We also have a bunch of coal. We have some backup elytras in here. I also have this first aid kit, which just has a bunch of like random potions and milk in case I ever get an effect that I don't want. We also have these empty ones, which is basically just for anything that I'm working on, or if I go adventuring and I want to put stuff in here, I can do that. Then we have my enchanted golden apples. I also have a crafting table, my dragon egg, a bunch of anvils, some name tags, and then we have my journal, which is basically just projects. This is really outdated. And then a bunch of coordinates. And then we also have a list of my pets. Yeah, I haven't named all of them yet, but a few of them are named, like some of the parrots are. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the tour. I'm gonna try to do one of these like every year or so expect one probably next summer. Before I end off the tour though, I do want to talk a little bit about like why this video is so late. So after I made the last video, I actually did start working on a world tour video, but as I worked on it, I realized that I had already done so much in this world, and I really wanted a fully documented Minecraft world from the start. So I abandoned the world tour and started a new survival series. After making a couple episodes in that world though, I keep coming back to this world. I don't know if it's because it has the most history or because it's my most advanced survival world, but I've made the decision to make videos on this world. Hopefully you guys like this decision, and I really hope over the next few years I can really improve this world and make something special. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and with all that said, thanks for watching.